It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you warmly to the office of the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action and to this evening's event. We are deeply grateful for your presence here tonight and for the commitment each of you continues to demonstrate toward advancing sustainable development and climate resilience. At the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, we believe that nature is not just a backdrop to development, it is the foundation of it. Tonight, we gather not only to reflect, but to reimagine, to ask ourselves, how do we move from ambition to action? How do we scale solutions that are rooted in our ecosystems, driven by our people and aligned with our development priorities?
Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, and partners. Tonight is more than just a gathering. It is a celebration of shared purpose, shared responsibility, and shared hope for the future of our planet, especially Africa. Across the globe, the impact of climate change are becoming increasingly severe and deeply disruptive. Communities are facing devastating floods, prolonged droughts, rising temperatures, biodiversity loss, and growing threats to livelihoods and food security. While this crisis is global in nature, its effects are not equally distributed. Africa, despite contributing the least to global greenhouse gas emissions, continues to shoulder a disproportionate share of the burden. Across the continent, climate change is undermining development gains, threatening ecosystems, placing immense pressure on already vulnerable communities. Yet, amid these challenges lies immense opportunity. Nature remains one of the greatest allies in the fight against climate change. My own journey in public life, particularly in advancing sustainable development and natural resource governance, reinforced this conviction. It demonstrates that with political will, strategic partnership, and innovative financing, it is possible to translate environmental ambition into tangible impact. It is clear that government cannot do this alone. The complexity and urgency of the climate crisis demand broad-based collaboration between governments, civil society, development partners, the private sector, academia, and local communities. It requires us to work across sectors and across borders, united by a common vision for a more sustainable and resilient future. That is precisely why platforms such as Africa Center's Nature Talks are so important. They provide an opportunity for dialogue, for reflection, and for partnership building. They allow us to bridge perspectives, align priorities, and strengthen the collective resolve required to scale solutions that are both ambitious and practical. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, we are committed to supporting this agenda by promoting policies, partnerships, and investments that place nature at the heart of Africa's climate response. We believe that by restoring ecosystems, mobilizing finance for nature, and empowering communities, we can help shape a development pathway that is resilient, equitable, and sustainable. Your presence here, particularly the European Union Ambassador to Ghana and the Danish Ambassador to Ghana, as well as the representative of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and all of you distinguished guests, underscores the importance of collective leadership in confronting the climate crisis. It is through such collaboration that we can unlock innovation, mobilize resources, and ensure that climate action delivers real and lasting benefits for people and in our planet. We are all aware that the task before us is urgent, but let us not forget that it's achievable if we act together with purpose, ambition, and determination.
I'm here on behalf of the university, representing the Vice Chancellor and my own self, to really express our support for the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action. A few months ago, when Reverend Joyce Ayi came with the team to meet us at the University of Ghana, to introduce this center and ask for our partnership, we were very enthusiastic, and we accepted on the spot to be partners. And I personally facilitated the development of the MOU, which has now been signed. Yeah, so we are very proud of what this center is seeking to achieve, and we are fully committed to working with you and bringing our expertise in terms of research and knowledge generation to partner with you to, determine the best possible evidence that can guide our interventions. And we think that you are well placed to bridge the gap between academia and policy, looking at the caliber of people you have. And I think we can work very well together to translate our research into actionable interventions that can really make a difference.
We consider that strengthening cooperation to fight against climate change, as well as supporting the activities of platforms to this end, remain essential. We highly value and support the contributions of such initiatives in fostering dialogue, cooperation, and concrete action.
So, Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Solutions. Always nice to be with you guys. Call me, evening, mornings, noon, whatever, I come. Because I think what you're doing is, spot on. I think you are very smart, and I think your approach fits perfectly to Ghana. But sometimes the EU ambassador is a little bit too innovative. So he prepared a biking trip all the way from Tamale to Accra. And then he convinced me to bike from Buipe to Techiman. That was a pretty tough ride, but it was a wonderful start of the ride, because I was biking just next to a senior traditional leader, Gina Senior from Buipe. And I can see where you get your strong genes from. You have a very strong father, and it's nice to see the next generation taking its responsibility so seriously as you are doing. So thank you for hosting us tonight. And I really hope that you and your organizations and the whole Team Ghana keep on fighting for a greener and more sustainable future.
By bike in the north of Ghana, together with the father of our host tonight. And I must admit, I very much prefer this kind of visibility to sitting on a bike in 40 degrees Celsius. So, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to join you for this discussion, this informal talks on climate and environmental action in Ghana. The European Union is and will remain a stable partner also to Ghana for the next 50 years and beyond. I'm encouraged by seeing so many people here tonight with such determination and intellect brought together. Maybe there is hope after all. So cheers.
We want to present to you a strategic plan for 2025 to 2030. Just to let you know that for us, this is not just an evening of interaction, it's an evening for action. And we expect that when we move away from here, we'll be able to take a look at the document and begin to work together so we can make some achievement. So I present to you the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action Strategic Plan launched.